How's it going, everybody? Button here. Today, I'm going to show you guys a quick review on the FV4202. I'm going to show you my loadout for this tank, go over the Hesh versus heat gun argument, and then I'm going to show you a quick replay on Naval Frontier, where I do pretty well in the tank. Now first, the consumables, it's very simple. I think you don't have a choice. I think you just run double repair and adrenaline. You don't need the speed boost. And for next, the provisions, more of the same here. I just take double food and fuel. It's a pretty simple loadout. And for the ammunition, you have 72 rounds. Go feel free, do whatever you want, go a little crazy, and just play around with it. This is just my loadout, and you guys can use it as you like. For the equipment, I recommend taking calibrated shells. I think you need the pen. It's very hard to play this tank well, especially with the heat gun. You want to fight heavies from either the side, the front, the whatever. So just having this option with the extra penetration will give you the flexibility that you need to do well. And especially 339 is very good with the 10 degrees of gun depression. If you are shooting down on tier 10 heavy tanks, you will pen reasonably often, which is pretty good. Sometimes you'll bounce though. Defense system and toolbox are always my standards. I think you run the optics. 302 is amazing for view range. That's something I noticed. And accelerator is very good. Take the delivery system and just run the double aim time with refined and the lane drive. Quickly gonna do the Hesh versus heat gun argument right now. I think both guns are great. I prefer using the heat gun. And the reason why I like using the heat gun is because I like to think things over 10 battles, 20 battles, 100 battles. If I played 10 battles or 20 battles, I am going to need the heat gun and its extra pen so often. You fight so many different heavy tanks in Blitz, even though it is technically like a med meta, like a TD meta. You're just fighting heavy tanks a lot, and some of these TDs are really well armored. Think about it. If you're fighting a Foch or a Hori, you're not really going to be using Hesh from the front. You're going to be either using AP or gold, depending on the situation. And a lot of these times, the Hesh rounds were great. The only problem is that Hesh is essentially HE, and HE gets countered by Spallliner and 4005s, Grills, Bats, and 30Bs. They have it, and they're very common tanks you see when you're playing Blitz, especially the Grill. So there's going to be a reasonable chance that the Hesh is pretty useless. And when you fight a tier 10 heavy tank from the front, you want to be useful, and the Hesh gun just doesn't enable that. But I will say this though, the Hesh gun is amazing if you want to absolutely destroy a tier 10 medium and a tier 10 light tank. So think about what you really want your tank to do. I like a really consistent tank that just does everything pretty averagely, instead of a tank that in some situations it's amazing and others not so amazing. But I'm going to quickly show the replay now and just go over what I think of the FV4202. I'm on Naval this game. There's going to be a med disadvantage on my team. I'm the only med. And this is where I might say if I was going to fight the meds, I would have liked to have the Hesh gun. The Hesh gun is good for deleting a not hold down STB1 and the Murad. I can just pen its side and the lower plate with it. But with the heat gun, it allows me to do something different. I'm going to go to the A corner and just fight the heavies from the front. And the reason why I want to fight the heavies from the front is because I'm a medium. I get there faster than all of the heavy things. Well, I get there pretty quickly if there wasn't a speed boost con, and if I didn't get a love tap from like a 60 TP. I'm just going to look to get an early blind shot in on the cross. I'm pretty sure that did absolutely nothing. But hey, 1 out of 100 games, that does something. And I'm going to come quickly into this little spot here. This little spot has a nice little ridge that you can use. I just want to feel it out. The S-Count definitely can shoot me from here, and I'm just not really feeling it. I see this 752 is kind of out of position. I can shoot the S-Count, and once this S-Count shoots, I'm going to make a cross, and there's the heat gun. I just penned a 752's hatch really easily. And there is the Type 71. Unfortunately, I do get penned from the front. Not the best, but I couldn't have done this with the Hesh gun. And now I just get to put a crossfire angle on these heavy tanks. make sure that I'm not getting shot by the 50 TP, but unfortunately I'm getting high rolled and kind of destroyed by this Type 71 here. But the sooner I clear out these heavy tanks, the better it is for my team, especially because we're on a time limit right now. I left the med flank open, so they have easy shots on our sides, so that means we need to hurry up. But now that the S-Conk isn't covering the Type anymore, the Type has to deal with my crossfire. And the 60 TP could potentially bully him. He puts in a great round here, and I'm just going to go follow it up. Except that one didn't go through. So we're just going to try again. And unfortunately, this Sturv is kind of being annoying, but I do get a great shot in. And now I know I'm kind of at risk here. There is a 1600 HP Sturv and I'm on 1000 hit points, so I need to play creatively. And one way I'm going to play creatively is by shooting underneath the dead carcass. I'm going to try to make the 752 a one-shot for my team, and hopefully we can clear the 50 TP as well. Very quickly, I'm going to put another shot into the Sturv, and it looks like this game is going good for us. Our team can definitely pick up the 50 TP. I can take a 1v1 on the Sturf. It's going to be a little difficult, and that's where the 422's kind of scripted armor, kind of crazy armor profile comes in. I'm going to put another one into the Sturf, and that's at 3200 DPM working. I don't know if in this brawl I could consistently Hesh pen a Sturf K. I think you can Hesh pen it, definitely. With 227, you should be able to. The Sturf doesn't have that much armor, but it's a bit harder than firing 275 APCR rounds. That's definitely something I'm not a fan of this thing. The fact that it's APCR, that is a little diabolical. I am going to be honest, but at least with this STV1, I'm not really too worried about that. I get a Maxwell tracking shot, and this is one thing I'm not a fan of. I'm not a fan of 410 Alpha Kronwagen simply being able to clip out my farm at the end of the game, and Alex Nave is going to pick up the kill. He's a very old player. I do recognize him from my games, but anyways, 4480, I want to say, is what we did this game. It's still a very good number. I do pick up the kills that the team needed. Both kills came in super clutch for my team. I think we need to pick up the Sturv and the Type that I picked up. But Alex Nave had a good game. That's going to be a first class in the Kron. If any of you guys were worried about your ace bar for that, 4400 is going to be a mastery. One thing I will say about the tank though, the gun feels very inconsistent. A lot of my the heat shells that should have pan didn't pan, and the APCR standard is definitely a bit diabolical. I'm going to be honest. I don't know why Wargaming gave this thing APCR. It definitely did not need it, and I think APCR needs to get buffed, because otherwise it's just it honestly just feels awful to play right now. And I have to say, one criticism I have is APCR with low shell velocity is absolutely insane. But enough of my rambling. I hope you guys really enjoyed my quick review on the 4202, and I hope you guys really enjoyed the video. I hope you guys have a great day, have a good night, and see ya. Thank you for watching.